Hi, this is George with Crypto Ho, and today I'm going to do an ICO review of Zebi from India. Zebi is an incredible project from India that has, I think, the potential to be like the premier breakout project for an ICO for India. Kind of like Neos for China, Icons for Korea. I understand Zebi doesn't have its own blockchain. It's not dealing with interoperability, but I'm telling you, we haven't seen one from India that really goes and just grabs people's imagination. I think Zebi's got a chance. Before I get to the details of this big data play with Zebi, let me tell you what Zebi is. As I told you, I'm going to try to share with you fun facts to make ICO presentations totally different that even your significant other would like. So first fun fact I want to share with you is that Zebi stands for 1024 to the power of 7. All right? What does that mean? What they're saying is by 2020, big data is expected to reach 3 Zebi bytes per year. And 1 Zebi byte equals 1 trillion gigabytes. Do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. Practice this today. If you got grandkids, if you got little children or nieces or nephews, maybe like 5 to like 10 years old or so, you know how you play games with them going, you know, how much do you love me and things of that nature. And sometimes you'll hear, hey, I love you like 100. I love you 1 million times. I love you 1 billion times. I love you infinity times. Guess what? That's all boring. That's all boring. I want you to call them up or ask them, how much do you love me? And they'll give you a number and then reply, I love you Zebi byte, Zebi times. And they're going to go, oh, what's a Zebi? And you're going to tell them 1 trillion gigabytes. I'm telling you, I said that to my son, I asked him that question. He loves to play Minecraft. He loves to play Roblox. And when I told him that, and he pondered it for a minute, that answer of 1 trillion gigabytes, then he said, oh my gosh, Dad, that is huge. Think about that. And intrigued his mind. Now he knows what a Zebi byte is. I'm telling you, that'll help you have rapport with the little kids. And next time you watch Jeopardy one of these days, this question will be on. So next, second fun fact for today. This is great because, well, it's not great. It's actually really tragic, okay? There's a pandemic in Asia. Pandemic. Over 2.5 billion people around the world, especially in Asia, suffer from this disease. It's called CE. And what's so insidious about this disease is not spread by a simple pathogen like a bacteria or a virus or something like that. It is spread by parents, by relatives, by teachers at a very young age to little kids. You're going, George, you've lost your mind. I haven't lost my mind. You know what it is? CE stands for college envyitis. College envyitis. College envyitis is a real deal. I'm off the boat. I suffer from it before, all right? Now, the vaccine for CE in India, you know what it is? It's Indian Institute of Technology. If you haven't heard it before, if you can combine like Princeton, Harvard, Yale, MIT, all together, this is what you have in India, IIT. 2% acceptance rate. Think about this. In the United States, Harvard, Princeton, Yale has about 6% acceptance rate. India, 2% acceptance rate. Over a million kids every single year take the JEE to try to get in the India Institute of Technology, the top 6. Why? Because it's like winning the Powerball. It's like winning the lottery. Serious, this is what all my Indian friends say. Because once you get in, you got a ticket for life. Because everybody knows you're a smarty pants, okay? So we're talking about kids from junior and senior in high school, going to school from 4 to 6 in the morning to prep. It's like going for the Olympics. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you're going, well, what does this got to do with anything? Here's what it has to do. IIT has a super genius fraternity, okay? We're talking to people like Sundar, CEO of Google. We're talking about people like Nirayana, founder of Infosys, the largest market cap technology company in India. We're talking about Vinod, co-founder of Sun Microsystems, hugely successful VC. We're talking about people who are captains in industry from McKinsey, for Citigroup, all different type companies. They come from IIT. Now, why is that important? Because Zebi constitutes the initial team over 16 IIT members. It's incredible. It's an all-star of Indian intellect, okay, who's ready to execute on a tremendous blockchain project called Zebi. So let's get started with this all-star team. It starts with Babu, 18 years working as a director of software development at Oracle, all-star, IIT Madras. Pani, 20 years as software engineer architect, 11 years as group manager of software development at Oracle. Gopal, 11 years managing multinational revenue streams, including 7 years of Hitachi Consulting. Ranuk, incredibly connected serial entrepreneur, IIT, Brain Trust. Sudhir, IIT, Brain Trust, over 15 years at Intel Capital, managing partner at Epsilon Venture Funds, advisor to 20 plus companies. Kayan, over 15 years experience as global enterprise architect at Intel Corporation. One more time, all-star team members who knows how to, you know what they know? How to bring a project from the ether, put it into a concrete actionable plan, execute, and scale to dominate the marketplace. That's what I see behind Zebi. All-star team advisors, guys. Check this out. Vasu, IIT Madras, held roles such as senior engineering manager, principal engineering manager, scientist, companies such as Uber, Microsoft, Nokia, Siemens, also PhD computer science, University of Maryland. Phil, senior vice president, Salesforce PhD, MIT degree, Harvard, Oxford University. I'm telling you, this is stacked with smarty pants people. Chandra, IIT, hardware quality reliability engineer at Facebook, also at Amazon Labs. Prahlad, IIT, senior vice president, Wells Fargo, ex-vice president, Charles Schwab, ex-regional manager at PayPal, director of Capital One Services. I linked in with all these guys. They're all either with the Zebi advisor or says Zebi on their LinkedIn or intimately connected with all the principal all-star team. You gotta love it. This is the first thing I look at on any single project. You know why? Because when I put my hard money on anything or a project at work, I know the most important aspect of this is the team able to execute the great plan to make it a reality. Always got to bet on the jockey. So the Zebi big problem. What's the Zebi trying to solve? Zebi is trying to solve and protect high value data, okay, from theft and from tampering. So what do we talk about? Identity theft, land registry, educational documents, health records. You know, data manipulation costs India $30 billion a year. Zebi's blockchain solution. You can look at it in detail in the white paper, but it's a two-pronged approach. What Zebi provides is a blockchain solution to leverage and protect highly sensitive data. This is for onboarding individuals, helping distribute the information to enterprises and governments. So it's two parts. The Zebi chain, okay, is the private blockchain that holds the health records, the educational records, the property records, utility records, the employment records, the transaction records. And that is processed and sped through the Zebi data gateway, where you can onboard individuals to put information on the Zebi chain and to provide the enterprises and governments the data that's held within the Zebi chain data. And how the data will be transferred to the enterprise and the governments is through the Zebi coin, right? This is through the Zebi coin. So this is how the two projects will work together in synchronicity to really boost the Zebi ecosystem. One more time, the concrete details, check it out in the white paper, it's very thorough. And they've already got a working product, not a prototype, not alpha, not a beta. It's already working right now in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Zebi's initial target is to secure and digitize land records. I love this fact as in there's a lot of projects out there that want to attack every single aspect of humanity. And you know as well as I do, you can't do that, right? You just got to be a specialist in one area, dominate that area, and then you can escalate and grab additional market share. So what Zebi so ingeniously is doing, because they've got real world work experience, they're looking at the land records. 70%, here's an interesting fact, 70% of suits in the Indian court system is real estate related. Okay? Data security, transaction management, and ownership records. Now, why is that 70% of suits in the Indian court system real estate related? Well, you know what? India's real estate system is presumptive, all right? Where your registration does not always guarantee your title. Do you understand on that? Because sometimes you have bad actors, and what they'll do is that the real estate guys may sell the property more than once, and you may go to the registry and get your your sheet, and you say, hey, I'm guaranteed this thing, but you're not, because either the government official made an honest mistake, because there's just so many records out there, chock full warehouses of record that's collecting dust, or they may be in cahoots with the property developer. Both things are bad. And what Zebi's trying to do is put it on the blockchain so it's immutable, it's accessible for all, and it'll negate and decrease, hopefully, the 70% of the suits that's clogging up the Indian court system. Work progress. Check this out, guys. Government involvement, all right? Within the state of Andhra Pradesh, Zebi's already consummated a multi-year contract with them. How do you like those apples? You don't see that too often in any blockchain projects. Andhra Pradesh joined the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance in July 2017, 50 million population. And check this out. You know, Andhra Pradesh has its own capital now, but before, the de jure capital has been Hyderabad. Now, Hyderabad, I don't know, I don't know where that is, George. Well, Hyderabad has been the capital, okay, of multinational IT companies around the world. We're talking about Facebook, Oracle, Amazon, Microsoft, on and on and on. They're all situated in Hyderabad. So what you're able to do is take that brain power and put it into Zebi. I'm sure a lot of them are IIT graduates. And Andhra Pradesh, because they're so visionary and getting into the Ethereum Alliance, I'm sure they're going to be opening other doors for Zebi to collaborate with. And Andhra Pradesh has already publicly announced that they are going to be the star state of blockchain in India. And they're not just going to be a star state of India, because in my opinion, once they become a star state of India, they're going to spread this thing worldwide, and they're going to be a shining example of what government and enterprise private solutions can do to really elevate the population. In addition, Zebi's already submitted proposals to 2 additional state governments, over 160 million population. Token metrics, 10 million. Hard cap to start with. Initial pre-sale was $2 million, and they sold about another $6.3 million. The crowd sale coming out will have about $1.4 million going out in the crowd sale. You can check out the details on Zebi.io. The metrics will work like this: 50% of the coins will be held by Zebi, 30% sold at crowd sale, 5% to cover the token cost, 15% for distribution and participation in the ecosystem. All in all, I think is very, very fair. Usually I don't like about 15% on the bounties, but they're also taking the pre-sale bonuses off of that. Oh, by the way, the pre-sale is about 30%, which is also very, very fair and equitable. It wasn't like 200% or 300%, which, whales come in and they dump on an exchange. Not good for us. Again, get the details, check out the website, check out the our white paper. Project overview. Pros. Silicon Valley all-star team that's come back home, baby. They're coming back home to make a change for the positive. First-rate group of advisors. You couldn't find a more stacked group of advisors. Team from MIT, Stanford, Oxford, IIT, etc. Work experience, Oracle, Uber, Microsoft, Google, Amazon. Let me ask you a question. You know, as well as I do, we've all met a lot of smarty pants in our lives, whether it be high school or college. But not all smarty pants can work together and cohesively as a team. Does that make sense? And this is what Zebi has already, a huge goal, a huge big plus. What I also see is that because of going after land registration, right? guess what? They have to lock arms together because you got to go through centralized hell to be able to get to decentralized nirvana, especially on this project. And that's why it's so important that they've got great management and advisors that is not really super young. All right, they know how to deal with people. Do you understand what I'm saying? They've already got a network that they paid equity into, emotional equity, whatever equity into, that they're able to collaborate together. So important when you're working a real world example with the government. The transition, Andhra Pradesh and beyond, to leapfrog and pull the hundreds of millions of people in subcontinent of India. We're talking about not just in India. We're talking about Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, all these areas. In anthropology class, I learned that a lot of them, hundreds of millions, are living lives of quiet desperation. Do you understand what I'm saying? They may have held land at one time, or was able to put value added and farm it, but whether through bad weather or unscrupulous land developers, maybe they lost their land, now they're a sharecropper. You see so many hundreds of millions of people in subcontinent of India, they're very vulnerable economically, okay? And one systemic shock puts them in the poor category and they can't climb out. This is what Zebi is trying to alleviate. This is what Zebi is trying to protect. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why it's another reason why I'm rooting for Zebi overall. Real world use case. As I said, the application's already out there. You can check it out on YouTube. Functional product, government involvement, 10 million market cap, hard cap. You don't see that too often. Most people are trying to grab a lot more money than that because they don't know if they can execute. They need to get as much runway money as possible. But the team and Zebi, in combination with knowing what they can do, all right, knowing they can do some geo arbitrage because they're in India, they're doing it in a very, very fair way. Also, in the last one, I talked about token metrics. The initial team, they're locking up their tokens. They can't get the 25% of their tokens until 2019, and then 25% afterwards every single year. So they're committed inside of this this project also. I love it. Those are all pros. Cons. Government. When you're dealing with government, whether what I do, you go to the post office. Situational power. You got to overcome a lot of people entrenched with situational power. Presumptive land ownership. As I said, registration letters is not a guaranteed land ownership in India. So last year, Modi passed the law, Real Estate Act, and what he's trying to do is clear out a whole bunch of bad actors, whereby he didn't want the developers to try to sell properties more than one time. You actually in India have to put an advertisement before you buy the land. Okay. So those are some systemic type problems that needs to be addressed before Zebi can become a huge success. And verification of land records is important because they're legacy challenges, garbage in, garbage out. Even though that the blockchain's immutable, if you have garbage in, then you're going to get garbage out. But I suspect it's not like a huge hyper majority number, especially I'm sure it's a small number. And even if we have bad actors with bad data in the beginning, I'm sure it'll be worked out in a judiciary process, and then they can update it into the blockchain. Another thing I want to tell you about Modi. I'm sorry, I'm digressing. Modi last year invalidated 85% of the money in India. I mean, took out all the $500 rupees, the 1,000 rupees, just took it out of the system. One night, bam, done. Okay. Now, I'm not here to debate the pros and cons or the aftermath of that event. All I'm trying to tell you is that this prime minister is a man of vision. He's for the people. You understand what I'm saying? And he's trying to do what he can to pull his citizens to the next level. And I'm saying that he's got the chutzpah, he's got the gall to make it happen. And I'm excited to see what transpires with Zebi and the Indian government overall. Competition. There could be federal competition. There could be other states. There's 29 states in India, and Zebi only has one right now, but it's up to Zebi because they got pole position. And we know India is a huge country with a lot of big data players, so there could be other big data players coming in. Token utilization. Initially, they're accepting both fiat and tokens. It's great when you see projects that only takes tokens, right? Exclusively tokens. But in this case, we already know a lot of people, or majority of the people around the world don't have crypto assets. So how can you tell majority of the people in the world, hey, to access all this highly sensitive data on the Zebi chain, you can only use tokens, right? It may be difficult for them to access the tokens in the beginning. So the CEOs resolved, hey, in the beginning, we're going to use both fiat plus tokens. But after we get good Zebi coin penetration and adoption, then we're going to make it exclusive tokens, which will help, of course, our token ecosystem. Ethereum blockchain congestion. You know, and I know with the crypto kitties, and then when you have highly, popular ICOs, Ethereum blockchain gets congested. Okay, so we're praying for Raiden, we're praying for Casper to alleviate this problem, because there are 1.3 billion people in India. If a lot of them are accessing the Zebi data chain, that could cause some congestion. Overall, team 9, project 7, token metrics 9. Overall, I scored 8.3, super long-term hold. I should probably put in an X factor, okay? I should probably put in an X factor because I'll do it next time. That'll jack the number up. But, the economy overall, the market cap overall has exploded in the last 14 months, totally exploded. But Vitalik makes a good point, as in, a lot of people have made a lot of crypto profits, but how have we really helped humanity overall? How many unbanked people have we helped? How many people have we helped with their land registry? How many people have we helped protect their identity? Not that many, right? That's an X factor. That's an X factor. And that's why I'm so excited about what Zebi can accomplish. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Cryptos are volatile. You can definitely lose all your money. You need to do your own research and be responsible for your own decisions. But also you need to do your own research so you understand cryptos better, so you can be a better ambassador for the blockchain economy overall, to share with people, to bring other people into the fold. Modi. He's the Prime Minister of India, and it's serendipitous because just a couple of days ago, he said that disruptive technology such as blockchain and an Internet of Things will have a profound impact on the way we live and work. They require rapid adaptation in our workplaces. He also said 1st of February that with blockchain healthcare applications, the quality of healthcare is predicted to rise, and the risk and costs are likely to go down. As you probably know, that data stored on the blockchain can be shared in real time across a group of people, institutions. So this is the Prime Minister. This is the leader of the biggest democracy in the whole world, guys, in the whole world. And he's not talking about regulation with securities and everything. He's just talking about concrete use of how to use blockchain to better help the citizens at large. This is what I see with this guy, right? So hopefully Zebi can use that super IIT fraternity, all right, and really execute quickly before the competition comes in, before any of the big data comes in, and take it and to be a stellar example in Andhra Pradesh and beyond, and just dominate all 29 states in the country of India. Lastly, Mahatma Gandhi. What can I say? Legendary leader. Barack Obama, Martin Luther King, Mandela, all of these incredible human beings have thanked Mahatma and his leadership skills, right? Of passive activism and how to change society. And what he said is that you must be the change you wish to see in this world. One more time. You must be the change you wish to see in this world. And that's why I'm so excited about Zebi, because they're making concrete changes for people who really need this. Because, we take it for granted living in a G20 country that we have real estate rights, we have personal property rights, we have business rights, we have security rights. But as I said, hundreds of millions of people and living in the subcontinent of India that doesn't have that right? And what Zebi is trying to do, bottom line is this, guys, you know this, that whether you're a Brahmin or untouchable, right? Gandhi's goal has always been immutable, casteless, trustless, meritorious democracy. It's the same goal that Nehru had when he started IIT, the super genius fraternity in school, right? Same goal that Modi has right now. And I just pray that Zebi is going to be a jugular puzzle piece to realize this vision, to absolutely realize this vision. And here, guys, if you like this channel, you like what you're hearing and stuff like that, definitely click the subscribe button, and tell me you like what I'm producing, and I want to produce more for you. Here's a personal entreaty I have for the team at Zebi. I don't know what your modus operandi was to come back into India, leave United States, and to develop Zebi. Whether you just saw it as a great use case, a great business idea, or you saw it as a great idea to build a business economically, to be rich. I'm sure you're already well-to-do, okay? Or to build a legacy, or just for your country or your family. All those aspects are commendable. All those aspects are commendable. But I want to share something from my heart. Is that, growing up, I had a friend named Sanjay, okay? And I ate a lot of Indian food at his house for free, so I'm going to have to use his name. It's payback time. So I'm telling you, there's at least one Sanjay in the city of Madras right now. He's a precocious kid, okay? He loves to learn. And he doesn't have very much, but he has his mom. Not a very big extended family, but he knows his mom loves him, and his mom works all the time just to keep a simple roof above his head. And they just provide him with the staples, the basics. But he feels it, that she struggles, and she does struggle. She's economically vulnerable, okay, economically vulnerable. And Sanjay's maybe not into cricket. Maybe Sanjay's not in the Bollywood. Maybe Sanjay's not in soccer. Just stay with me. I know that's totally un-Indian. But what Sanjay's down with is that he loves to program Roblox and maybe Minecraft. He loves to learn. And he's got a bad case, brother. Bad case of college uveitis. And everybody in the neighborhood is going, nobody in our neighborhood goes to IIT. Don't even think about it. It's not even a dream. Does that make sense? So he doesn't have a big support system. It just has his mama. But what he may not know, one day with your help, Zebi, is that you may be an unheralded hero of bringing the Zebi chain together to protect his mom, to hold the home. So he doesn't come under duress of losing his home or others, economic shocks that you're going to protect him from. And you're going to give him an opportunity, some time, all right, to grow mentally, to grow physically. So maybe he can be the next superstar of IIT and to carry the banner on. This is what you have in your hand. And you literally have thousands of people right now, and it's going to grow. It's just going to grow, who's absolutely rooting for you to succeed. Now, a lot of people are rooting for you to succeed because, once you succeed, the Zebi coin is going to be used by tons and tons of people, okay? And it's going to, hopefully elevate and profit everybody. But I'm telling you from my heart, I want you to win because I just know so many people are disenfranchised in India and beyond. And you could be singularly the first use case to rocket India and propel it to the stratosphere where it needs to be, where it deserves to be. So I want you to think about Sanjay. I want you to think about him when you're tired, when your team is tired, and you can't code anymore. Code a couple more lines of solidity. I want you to think about Sanjay. When you're just hitting one impasse after another and just nothing is going right, okay, especially if you got situational power bureaucrats that's holding you down. Reach out to your super IIT fraternity. Find somebody else because we're all human beings still, okay? AI hasn't taken over totally yet, okay? I'm going to leave that to Elon Musk to solve. Just reach out because you're doing it for Sanjay. Make that call, make that connection, break some bread with somebody to touch him in a way that Zebi can touch the masses. I so, Zebi, appreciate the opportunity for you, just for me to share my heart with you. And I look forward to coming out to India or coming out to another blockchain event and see you guys. My son knows your name, so don't let us down. Definitely execute, make it happen. We believe in you. And guys, if you like this channel and you like what you've seen and heard, definitely subscribe. Definitely subscribe. I've been in and out of blockchain for a while now, all right? But, I go into some of the events and talking to some of the friends, and they're saying you just see things a little differently, and you got maybe a way of words or whatever, and it'll be good for you to share with people how you see things. And this is why I'm doing this Ventures in Blockchain now and Crypto Host. So if you like this channel, please subscribe. And one more thing, in the deepest recesses of your heart, okay, deepest recesses of your heart and your core, I know you always wanted to help a hoe, so why don't you start by helping this hoe today and click that subscribe button. Thank you very much. I look forward to hearing your positive feedback and seeing you at a live event very soon.